and the five-string melodies grooving. With the farmland rows where the roots run deep, beyond the noise of the busy streets, where the songs of the South are soothing. When I hear the front porch picking down, home rhythm ringing out, I don't run from banjo music. Yeah.
Hey, we're back with some homemade Civil War wargame development. And I'm down here having me some initial playthroughs on my game. And I'll give you a little drop in what's going on. Oh, the game starts the day after the Battle of Gettysburg. And we will eventually move to this strategic map here, but we will start the game on this tactical map. And the game will start off the day after the battle with Lee's divisions pulled back into some defensive spots upon, I forgot the name of that ridge, but there they all are. You can see them all on there on this map that depicts the area day after the battle. So that's where my game begins. And the first thing we'll do in this game is, as General Meade, you'll be wanting to reconnoiter the old spots here on the ridge, find out what's going on. You're licking your wounds. Everybody's pretty well been spent from the devastating battle the day before. You have the Union Corps in their little fishhooks positions. You can see where they all are at with the arrows. We have the Confederate field hospitals. Now I have a field hospital that's not in place because I have been playing the game. But there you go. Those will be key. Now those are the Corps division hospitals for each corps here. These are our little quick displays. We have our regular ones over here. It's what they'll finally look like, but just for purposes of quick game and getting the mechanics down, playtesting. There you go. You got the 2nd Corps and their Ewell, Hill's 3rd Corps, all their divisions and the brigades. And here is their strength. Things get moved. Lane's Artillery Battalion only suffered 9% casualty, so he's pretty much well considered full strength. You can see here all the strength of the units after the Gettysburg battle, and so on, is recording in pips. We use a pip system here. So there you go, and here is the Union Army of the Potomac and all their corps. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corps. They all represented here. Now there's another corps that is in reserve that I don't have marked on here. So, as a Union player, you'll begin the game. We'll be trying to find out who has the initiative. The initiative is going to be determined by what's called a reconnaissance die roll. Meade's going to start the game out probing the ridge line with his signal corps. There's telescopes, and they've been telling them overnight they've been seeing a bunch of campfires and a bunch of busy as bee Confederates putting up the old breastworks, putting up the breastworks. So the game will begin with a Union 2d6 die roll, and this will represent the amount of reports that Meade's getting in. His reconnaissance roll is what I call it. His reports, his intelligence. Now he had was beginning to set up a sophisticated intelligence gathering apparatus, but it was new and he really didn't trust it. So to reflect that, each turn will be a descending negative die roll modifier for the Union player rolling for the initiative. The first turn will be a -3, second turn -2, and every turn after that -1 on all the turns for the initiative. So we'll be rolling the game with a recon die roll representing reconnaissance reports. So he gets 9 reconnaissance reports, but because of his initial questioning it and the cautious nature of the man, he's going to disregard 3. And like I said, that'll be descending. The next turn it'll be a 2, and then a 1. Now for the Rebel reconnaissance roll, and this will represent Lee's attempts at deceptions, intercepting the reports, maybe injecting false reports, maybe some dummies along the picket line. Remember in that game 1864, or not the game, the movie 1864, about the Second Slashstake War, Denmark versus Prussia. They had a fortress that did that exact same thing. So that's what this role will be representing, is the Union, or the Confederates, trying to confound the Union reconnaissance. All right, unmodified roll of a 7. So there you go. The Confederates will have the initiative. All right, with the initiative, they will have 3 choices. Let me find my rules here. They will roll 1d6 for the number of brigades that can be activated. Excuse me. Now I should have put, I'm saying brigades, but I'm thinking more as the game develops, this will be a division activation roll. So you rolled a 5, that's good. How will that be? Let me see, will that be modified? I don't think it will, so that's a good choice. So 5 divisions can be activated. Each division will have 3 choices. They can either reinforce, try to add pips, or move to the road. I have 3 choices, but I think the move to the road and reposition is going to be about the same thing. Now, the Confederate player is operating behind his little screen here. And behind that screen fits this little piece here. And I have it already marked. Like I said, I've been playing, so. But on these screens, we will have First Corps, and the first Longstreet's First Corps will have Hood's division, and Hood's division, they will all start on this ridge spot. You can see here now. Each corps also has its corps hospital, and you'll have them in the hospitals will be on the non-evacuated side and on the road side. So the key is to get as many units on the road and out of there, while maintaining a good deception and holding off on any Union attack, because the Union's going to have a chance to attack your positions there. So you got to do what you want to do. Now, the strategy I've been employing is when I win the initiative, is to get these field hospitals on the road first. There you go. Because you'll have your options to reinforce or to move your units on the road, but reinforcing is going to delay your movement and delay your troops getting on outside here. Now we also have a option that if you decide, we don't know, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, if you decide the reinforcement aspect, that the initiative goes over to the Union player, but we don't know if we're going to do that yet or not. Alright, so move to road or reposition. Now when you reposition, here's another deal. On this ridge, all these divisions are on here, but they're unmarked. So you don't know which division is which. He just knows there's some divisions over here. You'll know by your little chart behind the screen here. And you'll have certain mechanics to get them from the ridge onto the road. But none of these guys are going to get moved. So the Union players don't know which of these divisions are going to be dummies or not. Now we also have this ridge divided into right, left, and left, or center, left, and right flanks. So that'll have to do with mechanics if during the Union turn they decide to come on over here and attack. Now that didn't happen in real life, but in this game you'll have the option to do that with a penalty. You can see right now, you ain't too strong yourself. And I'll explain the mechanics of coming across the old fish hook and attacking these breastworks positions. Ain't gonna be too keen, and that's probably why historically they didn't do it. But you'll have that option in this game. And so there'll be mechanics to try to get the units from the ridge onto the road. And we even got we put a little template there to represent, maybe that'll be what the road spot looks like. This is all, very preliminary. We're just got little certain ideas for designs of the actual player aid card that'll go there. But the first thing we try to do is get these hospitals on the road. Now, before you start the game, you're going to have to roll for these numbers. And I rolled in my little simulated game I got here. and these are called evacuation numbers. So I roll 2d6s, and my first one was a 1 and a 2. Second one came up as a 5 and a 6, and the third one is a 3 and a 4. Huh. Well, you can ask for you can't make that shit up. That is weird. But anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, these are the numbers that'll fail when you try to evacuate. So if you take your turn, it's your initiative. You decide, well, I don't want to reinforce any of these units. I don't want to get them on the road. I want to evacuate my hospitals first, because there is a penalty for reinforcements if you don't cut your hospitals out. So there you go. So the first thing you'll want to do is maybe roll a die, rebel die for a hospital roll. There you go. And it is a 1, so it means that this one failed on that initiative. Now I had, how many did I have? 4 or 5 units, divisions I could activate. So you do it for each division. So the other division might want to, or each corps, this corps might want to try an evacuation to roll also. So it's just, we'll try a roll. He got a 5. 5 and 6 was his failed numbers so far. No good on trying to evacuate those hospitals right away. All right, so, and you can see what I'm doing here. Now, like I said, now when you decide to get a unit on the road besides, a field hospital, there's a mechanic for trying to get those actual divisions on the road. But when you do, you'll move them from their ridge position onto their road position. And they'll do like this. They'll either go from here to here behind your screen, but these guys here will always stay there. The only ones you ever move will be from like this one here onto the road, onto here. All these units here basically stay because they're going to be deceptions. You don't know which one's a dummy and which one's not. So, are you going to evacuate? You just got 4 divisions activated. Are you going to get them all out of there and weaken your line? Or, like I said, I try to get my field hospitals out of there first to get them on the road to Williamsport or Hagerstown, which is over the mountains. And that's a whole part of a different game. That's a whole different game there. So that's a mechanic that we got there. Let me see here. Now, if the Union wins the initiative result, they can do the same thing. They can either get on the road or reinforce, or they can try to attack. And that's where they have their corps come on over and try to attack here. Now, if they do that, there's a whole different mechanic for that. That is, let's see here. Let's do a reinforcement roll first. Let's just say he wants to try to reinforce his units, add pips. A reinforcement roll will be a D6 or 2D6s. I'm reading this. I'm reading my wrong rules. All right, 2 D6s. You got 10. All right. Oh, okay. I'm with you. I remember that. All right. This is his reinforcement attempt. All right. The rebels' reinforcement attempt. Now the Union will get a chance to thwart that attempt with their roll, and that what this Union roll represents is you're trying to get reinforcements from one point A to point B. This could be traffic, weather. Maybe they got lost, didn't get there in time. But anyway, he's trying to beat a 10 to prevent the rebels from getting a reinforcements. All right, no good. He didn't. So 2d6 if lose. If you win, you get 4 pips max. So the rebels will get their 4 pips. But if they didn't evacuate any of their hospitals, they get a -1 die roll modifier. So that roll for them, I think it was a 10. So that would have been a 9. They still would have beat the 4 that tried to stop them. All right, a tie goes to the Union. So if a tie, it means that they don't get no reinforcements. But it says here, if you lose the roll to get your reinforcements, you only get half of your lowest die rolls. So even though he lost, if he would have lost, he would have only got 2. If you win, you only get 4 pips. There you go. This die roll here decides whether you will get. If you lose, you only get 2 of your lowest die roll. If you win, you get 4 pips reinforcements. There you go. 4 pips max reinforcements. All right, setup. Evac setup. I already told you about that. And the die rolls for failing. You get them on the road. Whenever they do get on the road, you move them from this point to this point. So Rhodes division is already on the road in one of these games that I played. So that means that'll be a dummy counter there, and that has to that comes into effect if you try to attack. Now we'll go over there. We got a whole procedure here for attacking. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, during that reinforcement roll, or during your reinforcement turn, if you want to reinforce, we have a card. So you can either play a card, I got one card here that says reinforcement, gain 3 pips. So if you had that card, you can throw that down, automatically gain 3 pips without going through a die roll procedure. And then you can do the die roll procedure too. So you have 2 ways you can get reinforcements, but that's only if you have a card. If you don't have a card, you're just doing the roll. All right, so now what are we doing here? We wanted to do you got a war council card, all kinds of cards you could have played, but we have a Gettysburg battle map procedure, and that is where we're coming across here. Both sides rolling 2 d6s. Rebel roll 6 and a 2. Union doing really bad on that one. Not good to go across an attack. This is going to be modified. All right. Union's rolling with a -1 breastworks modifier, so that 2. You can see what's going on. This is a bad roll, but all right, he's only rolled a 1. All right. If the Union wins, but they didn't, they have to win by 2 or greater. If they win by 2 or greater, the rebels suffer 3 pip losses. Any way you want to assign them, or maybe I don't like that. I don't like that, being able to assign them. I think they should be able to be given. I think the Union should be able to tell you which units are going to lose. So there you go. I like that mechanic. But anyway, all right. If the Union wins by 2 or greater, the rebels suffer 3 pip losses. Either way, the Union suffers the lowest pips roll that they have. So let me see. This was a rebel roll, Union roll. So the Union loses 1 pip on that one. Make sure that's pretty good there. Make sure that's right. There's an artillery barrage you can do besides attack. You just nail these suckers with artillery, but that takes care of precious artillery ammo, and you can try to do it. And there's certain mechanics for that too. Here I have written down, but let's go back over here. If the rebels suffer more than 2 brigades lost, that's when if he picks a certain brigade and they go down to 1 pip, the rebels suffer what's called a rout to the roads. So everybody just kind of collapses and routes to the roads. When you do that, the Union takes this position and can start the game on your heels this way. Other than that, if they don't ever get that position here, if they don't, reduce 2 brigades, they'll be heading this way, because historically the Union went down this way through the mountains and tried cut through some passes to cut off the Confederates going this way. So Unions went south on the road out of Gettysburg, and the Confederates went west. And those arrows are pretty well point which ways they headed on out of town. But like I said, if you can get them down to 3 brigades lost, you can get this position, get over here and start it. Historically, that's not the way it went historically, but you can change history in this game. All right, so there you go. So the Union taking the rebels, and they can start pursuit on Rebel Road, blah, 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 on the rebels' heels. Union wins by blah, 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 blah. All right, well, that is it for right now. We have cards we could have played too. The War Council card is a Union player loses his turn. All kinds of stuff going in here. We're just giving you, what do you call it? Insights. And like I said, you'll start off on these roads. We haven't got this map even started yet. We ain't even at that part, but you'll be rolling for your road conditions for each section of the road, and so on and so forth. So there you go. It's like I said, this part of the map will be behind the screen when you move your units from the ridge to the road. You'll be doing it hidden movement like, so that way there will be certain dummies here, and they'll be on the road without the Union knowing it, knowing which ones are which. Maybe we'll adjust the attacks for the center, left, and right flank. Maybe have that mechanic. The mechanic I just explained to you is very raw, very raw. We have to get way into it a little bit more, but just giving you a little insight on what's going on with my leaders trapped. It must be taking game. Oh, anything else I need to let you know about? Like I said, the recon roll, the Meade penalty decreases as the turns go on. He gets to, trust his recon rolls even more, and there'll be reinforcement gain 3 pips cards, war council card. I could have thrown down on a Union player to make him lose his turn, but if he has a superior Union communications card, it cancels the war council's card. Commander's feud, I could have added 1 die roll modifier, or I could have played it on the Union and they would have suffered 1 die roll modifier because commanders are feud. All kinds of stuff going on. Just a little very quick, very initial playthrough of this game, but I'm having a good time with it. It's a great game. So all about getting his troops all the way over on this side of the board, trying to get off of the tactical map rather than the strategic map. So there you go. We're just on it. We're at the tactical phase right now, and just playing through. And there'll be a lot more playthroughs to go. But I went through my initial 1 or 2 playthroughs last night. Thought I'd give you guys a little heads up. We'll be back with some War for America.